Welcome to the Fear and Greed Daily Interview. I'm Sean Aylmer. Last year, agriculture was worth $71 billion to the Australian economy. It's a lot of money, but it has the potential to grow even further. That's why there's such a strong focus on solving the challenges within agribusiness, things like supply chain issues and waste disposal. The Agtech and Logistics Hub is tasked with overcoming these challenges and commercialising the solutions. And it has the support of the Queensland Government and 2 universities to do it. Thomas Hall is the Director of the Agtech and Logistics Hub. Tom, welcome to Fear and Greed.
Hi, Sean. Thanks for having me on.
So let's just start at the beginning here. You're going to have to give me a 101 here. What does Agtech and Logistics Hub, what do you do?
At the Agtech and Logistics Hub, we proudly say that we're the home of digital agriculture and a premier agribusiness hub in Queensland. What we are is we're actively focused with industry to try and solve the challenges that exist within the agri-food sector. We're actively trying to fast track the development and the technology that exists by providing a platform for be it startups, entrepreneurs, academia, industry, whoever it might be, providing them with a space both digitally and physically to connect and collaborate. So we're physically located in Toowoomba, but as I said, we're a rapidly growing ecosystem with contacts across Australia and across the globe.
Okay, but agriculture itself is such a broad sector. So you're enabling people with great ideas kind of to come together and collaborate and hopefully push forward agriculture and agribusiness and digitise it. But it is such a broad sector. So is there an area that you're focused on, or is it the whole lot?
Instead of taking a view of we just focus on robotics or we just focus on connectivity, we try and support the entire sector. I know that sounds like a lot, but we act as the facilitators by encouraging different companies, be that through all the way from small through to large, SME, entrepreneurs, whoever it might be, to actively engage. Because in order to drive innovation, we need to know what's out there. If we can work with the other hubs and institutes around the country that have a focus on artificial intelligence or manufacturing or whatever it might be, from an industry side, we can actively bring those challenges forward from the producers and growers and work with those other institutes to facilitate a solution to those problems.
Okay, so are there any examples? I mean, you don't necessarily need to name names, but just kind of the sorts of things that you're able to facilitate to help a farmer or someone in the supply chain area.
Yeah, definitely. Great question. Regionally, connectivity is always the first one that comes to mind. However, we've got quite a strong connectivity cluster of businesses, all the way from startups and SMEs through to your big telcos like NBN and Telstra at the moment. And we collectively help to connect farms, get them connected, which allows them to look at OH&S platforms, upgrading their systems, and other, efficiency platforms that can support their operation. For example, to date, we've connected over 1,300 farms that previously weren't connected to some form of network, be it through a private network, a LoRaWAN network, or something like Telstra, Optus, or NBN.
Wow, that's a lot. And I mean, I kind of haven't ever thought about it before, but the concept of bringing really remote people who are very good at what they do, but then actually kind of providing them with the tools to not just learn more, but share knowledge and technology in and kind of better do the back-end process of what they're doing in their daily lives.
100%. A big one for connectivity, there's always, if we're connected, I can have robots or I can have data or whatever it might be. However, with any agribusiness operation, OH&S is always really important. There's a labour shortage around the entire country at the moment. We need to look after our staff, make sure that they're in a safe and secure environment, and connectivity provides that. We were able to support a regional feedlotter getting connectivity across their operation, which enabled all of their staff, particularly in the far reaches of their feedlot, to essentially be connected to the central part of the farm, so that if they were to fall off a horse, if there was some sort of accident, it can be quickly reported in real time.
Okay, and I mean, a lot of this isn't, we're not talking about going to the moon here. We're talking about things that maybe many people in the city take for granted.
Exactly. We're offered so many opportunities in the metros that just aren't a reality in regional locations. As I said earlier, though, our big purpose is to drive the innovation or drive the adoption of platforms, technology, services, whatever it might be, that can support the productivity and efficiency of farms or agribusiness operations. And across that space, knowing what's out there and essentially holding the farmer's hand while they adopt it de-risks their journey, but also we support the entrepreneur, innovator, Telstra, whoever it might be, in working through the process to make sure that the farmer or the agri-food operator understands the technology that they're onboarding and gets what they want.
Stay with me, Tom. We'll be back in a minute. My guest this morning is Tom Hall, Director of the Agtech and Logistics Hub. Okay, what's the prize here? I was going to say what's the size of the prize, but it may not actually be a monetary figure. What is it that we get out of this that's going to sort of advance our society?
You mentioned earlier in the session that the industry stands at about 71 billion at the moment. As an industry, we do have a goal of 100 billion by 2030 as an entire sector. From an individual grower and producer perspective, though, through the adoption of connectivity, or be it looking at digitization, if you're looking at robots, whatever it might be, you're then looking at safe and profitable farms and cropping operations. You're looking at a more productive and efficient operation. And these are just some of the ways that technology can help. A big part of this will also showcase to the international competition what our sector and what our producers and growers are capable of, particularly as we transition to a more transparent supply chain where we're showing certificates around the quality, safety, and provenance of our products. It puts us in a much more favourable light, shall we say, or in a preferred position when we're at the bargaining table with retailers internationally.
So how has the hub been received on both sides? So both on the kind of producer side, but also the big business Telstra NBN side?
To be honest, it's been really wonderful because a lot of the time, if we're just looking at connectivity, Telstra, NBN, Optus, they can often get you to your front gate, but they can't get you to the house, so to speak. So that's where a lot of the, innovators and entrepreneurs or smaller companies can assist in connecting those regional players. At the same time, there's quite a lot of SMEs and corporate active partners who are leaning in. So to date, I think we've got an ecosystem of probably over 7,000, contacts within our ecosystem and growing rapidly. Over 1,000 of those would be active SMEs who lean in to participate, probably 400 to 500 corporate partners, and a host of venture capital funds that are now starting to lean in and say, hey, look, this is a really exciting sector that we're not currently involved in. How do we get in here? Who can we participate? And what does our entry into the sector look like? That's where the hub can come in, and we can showcase and validate some of the exciting new entrepreneurs and products and programs coming through that are seeking seed investment and, support and coaching to move into a growth and scale phase.
How imaginative is the sector, is agribusiness?
I think by its nature, I want to say producers and growers are very innovative. They're continually faced with challenges every day, be it a car, a gate, or whatever it might be that they need to overcome. But as we start moving into Farm 4.0 or a more digitized farming environment, there's challenges that they're not going to be able to overcome because they're not equipped with the knowledge to do it. I shouldn't generalize. Some aren't. A lot of your enterprise operations are.
Yep.
I was at a recent conference and John Deere posited that by 2037 you'd have two farms. There'd be a digital one and a physical one, and you'd need to manage both. There's quite a lot of technology out there. Swarm Farms, which is autonomous robots out of Emerald, they're already in place. They're already running around farms, and a farmer is controlling it through a screen. John Deere showed that already in the States, they're trialing fully autonomous machines, and many more are coming onto the market. And I guess this comes back to our labour shortage issue we were talking about before, with as we start to transition into a more digitised environment through big data, analytics, autonomous machines, whatever it might be, the people controlling the machines, maintaining the machines, looking at the data captured analyzing it for efficiencies and productivity gains. All of these skills gaps need to be filled.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, farming, for want of a better term, is going to be look very different in 10 years, 20 years, and need different skills to what it is today.
Couldn't agree more. I grew up on a poultry farm in Western Queensland, and when I was a kid, we were picking up warm eggs with our hands.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the entire process is automated all the way through to the pallet going onto the truck. So it's been quite interesting to see a rapid acceleration in the adoption of technologies and autonomous machines to support the value add and the supply chain sector within the agri-food sector.
Fascinating. Tom, thank you very much for talking to Fear and Greed.
Thanks, Sean. Really appreciate it.
That was Thomas Hall, Director of the Agtech and Logistics Hub. This is the Fear and Greed Daily Interview. Join us every morning for the full episode of Fear and Greed, Australia's most popular business podcast. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your day.